this weekend up to this point. And even if they aren't looking at first place and thinking we can grab that, they need to hold on to top 5. This is a team that obviously won the Invitational last year. They're going to want to go to globals and show, hey, look, when it comes to in-person competition in Fortnite, we are them guys, we are them ones. And if they need to do that, if they are going to do that, it has to be top 5. Obviously, they're sitting in 3rd place. They can't afford for it to slip.
Ooh.
And so this isn't good. Cammy, the zone pushing against his back, players holding him. Fortunately for him, right, there's a bunch of trees here that you can sort of use as line of sight. But as I say that, there's players in the zone taking shots at him as well. You can't catch a break.
There's 3 people, Evan, and they're not happy. No moving in this forest for free. Cammy's looking for a few shots, but a bit too obvious, it looks like, on the play for the people who are up on that hill. They can see this one coming. That team way back in zone has not moved. They're still waiting for Cammy to make the next dash. He does to the right. Has to protect himself from all sides. He has the mats too. Last 50 pot here. This is just shambles. One team in front of him as well. That's Flodax. This is gonna be tough for Cammy. 68 HP in total to work with, including his shield. And zone still coming in. This is where he's on an absolutely pivotal and close timer. Has to move up a hill too. Tough for Cammy.
Yeah, so tough for Cammy, right? This is a guy who works incredibly hard and is incredibly confident in his own ability as a player. But no matter how good of a player you are, this is one of the most difficult spots you can be in, especially in this lobby. We've been talking about how difficult it is to play. iDrop and Mappy, we saw them deep in last game. And I'll be honest, they are another one of those teams that could potentially sneak their way into the top 5, right? In the top 10 currently, and they're on the rise. They have the pulse rifles. iDrop and Mappy might just have something for us towards the back end of today.
I hope so. A lot of the times when I see this duo, they get a lot of points in games where they look like they're about to leave the server at any moment. In these games where they have power, pulse rifles, good positions, I feel like the pressure of that, the expectation to do well off these items, it might just trip them up a little bit more so than not. Meanwhile, in the fight we're watching here, Pablo Wingo Bevies, other issue that we saw from yesterday is just the overindulgence in fighting and getting so close to so many other players. I mean, it's part of the game plan. It's how they get surged, but it's so dangerous to go all in some of these. Pablo Wingo now down.
Yeah, it's so risky, right? When you look at the best teams in the world, one of the key factors in a game is that they just don't put themselves in 50-50 situations.
Yeah.
Right? They always want to be in a situation where they have some sort of advantage. And I think too often we've seen at times Bevies and Pablo Wingo putting themselves in situations not only that are 50-50s, but where they're just at a disadvantage and they're having to fight out of that.
It's that gambler's mentality. I mean, there was a season where those 50-50s over and over again 7 times worked. And they were the stars of the show, so just trying to chase that through. Now, something uncharacteristic I'm looking at is Thomas Eugene Malabuka live on screen, dope, down on Surge, just 4 above. I never see them this low.
Yeah, and you know, you think to yourself, this is probably the team with the most firepower in all of Fortnite.
Yeah.
How could they ever be down on Surge? They put themselves above now. And look, we've been in moments before in many FNCS Grand Finals where Thomas HD is down on Surge and he just hits a bunch of shots to put them above. In this case, it was Malabuka that was able to deal the damage. And so both players on both sides confident in their ability to keep them afloat. The problem is, right, another game where they don't have the pulse rifle, right? That's been the key factor for them doing well. And so another game where they're gonna have to either make it to an end game together, or it might end up being a solo clutch like we saw last time.
Pulse rifles on high ground are kind of the only lock and key stopping Queasy and Vino from just reigning control of the skies. Cammy still alone, somehow has survived all the way in and has items. How did this happen? It was Bevies he picked up, and that's a lot to work with. Slurps everything all the way in Anvil Square. This is gonna be a super clutch for this team.
Yeah, I was talking about how difficult it'd be for him. Bevies has handed him a gift, well above on Surge, and has everything in his arsenal to actually have a good game here.
Last time we saw him, it was 68 total HP with 100 mats. Look at the situation now. Look at the confidence in his shots.
Doesn't want to be too confident. Needs to start thinking about getting to zone. He's looking for that timing. He's waiting for those teams up there to move, but they're also waiting for him to move. Both teams want to take shots at each other.
Both teams we tuned in with as well know that they're a little bit lower on surge, so Thomas HD Malabuka are going straight for it. It's decided reboot ban, so they know that Kemi might just stay and wait to try to get Seti back up. They look at the weakness. They know it's a solo. Everyone diving for the rifts as well. That's exactly what Thomas and Malabuka might have done as well to get all the way away, and now Kemi's stuck here.
Thomas and Malabuka are so scary. Did you see the way he just dived in on him? Both players going on different sides. There was Malabuka in front, Thomas from behind. They tried to smush him in, but barely getting out of the way, Kemi, and then now able to use this rift to get into zone. But you can already see the shots flying in, players from below. They know he's up here in the sky. Everybody wants to take a shot at him. He's flying over the trees. I think he probably wants to dive down and use them as cover at some point. But now actually in the zone completely. This is where it falls. This is perfect for it.
Everyone down below suddenly stops looking at the sky and makes sure their bases are fully full. He gets a free ride in from the clouds, and this might be the strat. Okay, never mind. I thought we were going to see Kemi in the trees again.
Hey, look, if it was a zero-build tournament, then I guarantee you he would have stayed in that bush, but not here, not yet.
Yeah, so much to work with. Meanwhile, Queasy Vino, although this is not the south side, they pulled the zone.
Yeah, and this is just easy for them, right? This is how the zone that opened up, and so they're here nice and free, and they have access to that next zone really easy. You can see how they're just holding this team in. Giras, Chari, they can't come towards this side, and so once zone 7 opens up, they'll be able to just blade on in pretty freely as well.
See the dominance of Vino as well, that quick stat that was just on screen. This man having more elims than most teams that are playing here. More than 47 of the teams. There's only 2 others with over 30. Him as an individual has been so good today, and it's because of Queasy's leadership. It's because of their positioning overall as well, over and over again. They're making everyone have such a hard time. Coming in Floki, trying their best to make the best out of a bad spot. And they have a few teams they can fight with left and right, but they will be that first line that stops anyone else from getting into the zone. There's so many teams that want to on the right side, just flying in over top with some kinetic blades.
Look, zone's starting to open up, right? That 7th zone is starting to, you know, leave space, but a team like Kremet and Floki, they can't just start thinking about let's get into that space. They have to think about dealing damage, taking fights, because they're down on surge, and Floki's really down on HP now. That med miss is going to have to be used fully, as well as the minis. Barely above.
Gotta make every shot count above them. PKR, Link having trouble with Irazumi. Coming in Floki, all those is a safe spot. They can't really just find anyone over here. It's so hard to find any type of free shot out of any of these walls. And now they have to move even further to the absolute opposite point of the server. They've got to move over 150 meters. This is going to be tough for the duo. They have those kinetic blades, but they need to find the damage and move at the same time.
Yeah, the good thing is, right, obviously the purple blades give them the extra charge. They'll probably wait for zone to hit, but the problem again is what it was just a minute ago. Down below on surge, they need to start thinking about dealing damage.
Spots are being taken, people are moving, they're running out of time. Coming in Floki, you need to find out what's next for them here.
It's not even supposed to really take shots. They need to just get into zone and start fighting something realistically.
All gonna be cracked in midair in terms of shields. There it is. And they do base in, but this is it. Last 2 minutes for Clement. Barely keeps him above with shield threshold, and he's gonna open up and take a few shots back. It'll be up against Vino right now, who's shooting him. Vegas is on the backside. They're trying to get up, but you give Snazy 2 seconds to look at you, and you go down.
Blading from the congested side of the zone is always risky business, especially if you're going in a straight line. Players just have that vision of you pretty easily. Zara and Zangi down to just 1 build, can't even protect themselves from this lobby spray. And look who's there to clean up the loot. Look who's there getting taken out after picking up the loot. It's Irazumi. And Sined has literally just got the 1 build, can't even pick up the siphon mats of his teammate.
A sliver of a moment where there are no builds and you're losing all your HP. Down for 1 second on surge damage and you are gone as a duo. The difficulty of this lobby, of this day, of this region just seems to be increasing every single game. And in terms of this one, for the end game here at Breakwater Bay, it's going to be even tougher for all these teams. We've been seeing mid-ground teams shoot at each other, high ground house pulse rifles, and now they finally make themselves known.
And it's not something we've seen often right? We know how powerful the pulse rifles are, but we rarely get to see them on height. And one thing you do guarantee when you see them on height is that they absolutely melt every single player that's trying to kinetic blade through. And so now it's up to iDrop and Matt to do that.
One player, though, that's defied all odds this game, Cammy, on your screen, is below Surge again. He's been a solo for the last 3 zones, and he's holding on to his top 5 spot in this game. The longer he lives, the better chances he has to make this an absolutely glorious tournament for him and SETI. Moving forward, dodging the pulse rifle beams right underneath them, in front of their faces. He challenges shots and only gets hit once.
You see just how careful he is, looking to take shots at players as they rotate, covering his head as well. But once again, you see exactly what these guys want to do. It's Vino, Queasy looking up for height. They want to take it off iDrop, and they might just do it. Not much connecting them. iDrop and Mappy need to start thinking about connecting and making sure they pressure Queasy and Vino as much as possible.
Not an inexperienced duo at all, so we'll see the back and forth happen on high ground. Meanwhile, Lucien Center are trying to move through low, interrupted on the dash as a big shot from a pump stops Lucien. His tracks Vino and Queasy up towards their second part, and looking at height again. They're moving too fast. They're used to seeing both of them. So Vino says, forget the chop. I'm gonna take it myself. Almost landing and getting a perfect shot off. The timing crazy from Vino. He once again unites with Queasy. A mistake makes it just look like a beautiful rotation instead, and they keep moving on.
But this might be the first endgame in so long where we have to see them play a different way. They might not be able to go up without the mats they have left. They're gonna have to start going down. And all these teams here down below are so powerful. Cammy, even as a solo, is making himself look strong. Still alive in this one.
They drop themselves down in the top 10's world, and that's where Tayson and Mustache are hiding. That's where Cammy's looking to survive, and he gets right towards the front side of zone. Elects to actually stay elevated. This is not a position we're usually watching him in when he's alive with his duo. So as a solo will go, where it's somehow though, no one can stop Vino and Queasy. They say never mind and stay on height. Cammy goes down. What a way to survive all the way to the 11th zone, the top 17. Now everyone, including the pulse rifles, have to bow down to the king.
Mustache and Tayson, though, they won't bow to anybody. They'll keep fighting in this mid-ground. They'll keep clearing players out. It's Gripey who they're cutting through. They want to take them out. Who else is there? Will Flixie fall? He's trying to stay alive. He's trying to move backwards. If he takes the fight, it might just cost him. Tayson and Mustache don't force down.
Tayson on the sliver, and he will go down. So up to Mustache, but he makes every single shot count. While on the backside, he's got no mats. A little bit of a split from Tayson. Even when he's not, he's doing stuff for his teammates. Slurp popped, and now Mustache can actually have some playtime inside the storm. Mythic Pistol active, and that's who's gonna look to the beam. Queasy up top, and Vino drops again. Another chance for them to get wins, and wins. This is just crazy on EU.
Oh, he's slowing down. He needs to be careful. Mustache, he's coming up. This might be one of the first times we've seen him have to be challenged like this, but quickly dealing with the danger. Queasy says, Vino, hold up. I got you. Slow way down beneath. He has 6 already this game, and he's looking for more. No materials left at this point. Just crawling in the back of the zone. There's opportunities there, but he gets taken out from someone even behind him. And Vino picks up Drayson. Oh my goodness, how many times, even when it doesn't seem possible, even when it shouldn't be probable, they still take height, they still look to win games. iDrop, who was initially on it, is still alive in this game, and he has a tough task in his hand.
Mythic items all the way down below. iDrop looking for one of the shots, but Vino all the way just falls down. Now 1v1 for Vino! It's easy! It's easy! It's just too good for this team!
5 wins in a row. I will never see something like this. Do we ever see anything like this? I don't know what I'm in. Am I dreaming? Is this a dream? Is this real? How do they do it?
I don't know, and that game should have just not been possible because we saw pulse rifles on height. But Queasy and Vino, again, split-second decisions, big shots. When Vino's in trouble, he calls it an airstrike in the sense of Queasy, and he does damage, and then he's up close again and makes it just look like practice.
No matter what you throw in their way, whether they're contested, whether there's people stealing their loot, whether they're taking fights mid-game, whether there's someone contesting for height, it doesn't matter what you throw. Whether they don't get the zone, that was the first game they've had to travel across the map, and they still make it happen. These guys are unreal.
Hardest possible game, worst circumstances, they still win. Adam, Analyst, it's enough. I don't know.
I don't know what to say anymore. I don't know what to say. It's just absolutely, it's marvelous to watch. But it's also like, it's a surprise to see them continuously break records, blow us away here. I mean, Mini, what more can we say about Queasy and Vino? They've done it again.
They're not just trying to go for the win today. They've already got that in their back pocket. They're trying to go for world